Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today we're reviewing the Seiko Prospex Speedtime Panda. Now in the blurb for this watch it goes on that it's a reinterpretation of their 1972 classic. Now that's just a bit strange because the 1972 watch, it was a lovely looking watch. It's quite a collectible watch really, but I can't really see any similarities in any way, shape or form with it. Now it's a bit of a shame when you've got to hark on about the past to sell watches in the present. Now, I know you might say the Oris, sorry, not the Oris, but things like the Longines I did on my last review, the Central Power Reserve, that's going on about the past. That is true, but that is a more faithful kind of look at that watch. Same as the Oris 65 Diver. These are watches which actually look like they did in the past. A reinterpretation means they're completely open to doing whatever they want, and it's a bit of a shame. If they would have just said Seiko's new chrono, that would have been great with me. But anyway, I digress. So let me say a big thank you to Ryan and the team over at Francis and Gay of Commentary for allowing me to review this watch. Tons of stock. If you're in the commentary, well worth popping it in and having a look. If you're a little bit further afield, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description below to their website. So anyway, let's talk sizes. We are talking 42mm by a thickness of 14.9mm and a lug-to-lug of 49. The bracelet size is 22mm. Now, the dial on this watch is quite nice. We've got this kind of, would you call it silver, kind of silver look to it, and we've got these lovely straight grain brushwork going down the dial there. It does look quite nice. Now, we've got these nice polished applied hour markers. The 12, 3, 6 and 9 ones are a little bit thicker, and the what's left is thinner. Now, as you can see, they do have loom on the end of these, and as to our loom in the hands. And being that it's a Seiko, it is very good. You can never fault Seiko for their loom. It is always a strong factor. Now, the hands itself have got a nice bit of polish into them. I particularly like the way the chronograph second hand has this dip on there where it dips down at the end. I think that looks superb. I really like that. Now the subdials on this watch, if let me stop the chrono so you can see, quick snap back, see how it looks. There you go. This one here is the constant running seconds for your timekeeping, your regular time. Now the chronograph side of things have got these orange tips to them, and so when I start that, have a quick listen actually, so you can hear it start there. So over here, that's how you count the minutes, and that's how you count the hours. So 2 rotations there, 1 jump of the hour hand down here. Now, one thing I would make you aware of, the actual minute hand over here for the chrono isn't a jumping type. It is a slow, steady spin round. So every 1 rotation, this will it will rotate slowly round to the first position on there. So just be aware of that. Now, I do like, how they also recessed that a little bit. It does look nice and tidy. The one thing I'm not quite sure of is the date window down here at the 4:30 position. To me, just personally, I would have said get rid of that. I don't think there was really any real need to keep that in there. But each to their own. Some may like it, some may not. What you do have going on also around here is the minute track, and then you have the tachometer going on there. Now it gives it a bit of depth, it has to be said, having these colours on there. The dial itself is quite a good looking dial. You also have an applied Seiko, the Seiko name up there, the X for Prospex, and automatic. Now as we come past that, we have this nicely domed sapphire crystal. I don't believe there's any AR coating, but I could be wrong there. And it also looks like it's double domed because you get a little bit of magnification to the handset. Now obviously this features a solid polished bezel. On the sides here, it's quite a nice looking case really. You've got this lovely satinized finish, and then you have this very well polished bevel going around the edges, which is actually covered with my fingerprints. Now this is a little bit kind of different how they've done the end link coming in here. They have followed it all the way up, but obviously they've cut this bit out here. It's I don't know, it's one of these, I keep thinking it's almost should be something there, but I don't know, maybe I'm just wrong on that one. You have an unsigned crown going on here. Now, the crown itself isn't screwed down, and so it does wind straight in that position. So that just winds up from there. The watch itself is water resistant to 100 meters, so that's no problem at all. This the only thing I would say is don't use the pushers if you are near water, or even if the watch is wet or damp in any way. Do not use the pushers. I don't know if they're sealed properly, but I dare say they're probably okay, but I wouldn't risk it personally unless they actually state you can. Now, you do have a solid case back on here. I still have a sticker. The underneath there is I believe it's got a new movement, the 8R48. Now, it has a whopping 34 joules in there and up to a maximal power reserve of 45 hours. So I'd probably expect a little bit less than that, but there you go. I did notice for timekeeping, when I put it on the time graph, it looked relatively okay. I think it's like -1 or 2 seconds. I can't remember exactly. But I did notice when you had the chronograph running, the amplitude did drop considerably, and timekeeping went down by about -6 seconds, I think it was. So maybe it's just a quirk of this movement. I'm not quite sure, and I haven't had it in long enough to do any proper timing reviews of it. But anyway, as we leave that, we then come round to the bracelet. Now, my other half, she liked the look of the bracelet, but not so much its rattliness. It is quite an interesting bracelet. It does look, it's something a little bit different. It's got these multi-link designs. Obviously, these thinner links here are polished, and it gives it a kind of unique look, but subsequently, it is quite a rattly bracelet. I believe it's pin and collar going through there. Looks like, is that screwed? No, pin and collar, I believe. I could be wrong. Now, the clasp itself is a simple single fold over clasp. Now, there's no micro adjustment other than the half links here. But to be fair, I'm pretty certain you would be able to get that to fit quite nicely to your wrist. It is very solid. You do have to press both at the same time. It won't release with just one. It will only release with two. Anyway, I'll show on my wrist and have a quick look, see what you think. I'm wearing a Zim 103. Bob has got on the Larco. Now, one thing I would say, this being the territory of £2,350, puts it in quite a kind of busy area for chronographs, because you have watches like the Zin 103 there, Junghans, Zodiac and Hamilton all making watches chronographs at that price. Now, which would you pick? I would be really interested to see, would you pick a Zin over this, or Junghans or Zodiac or so on? So anyway, that's it on my 7¼ inch wrist. To be fair, it does sit down quite low. It does seem to, due to the angles of the lugs there, it does sit quite nice and comfortable down low. You do have quite a bit of bracelet room on there, so it should fit, I reckon, maybe even up to an 8-inch wrist. But that's it anyway. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you to it, and most importantly, stay safe out there. Take care. Bye.